When starting this timeline, we must begin in age 737, as Frieza was having all the Saiyans return to Planet Vegeta. When Bardock heard about the order for all the Saiyans to come back, he still made the plan for getting Kakarot off Earth. However, the change here is that he was able to get 2 ships, so one of them could escape with Kakarot. He would want Gine to go and she would want him to go, but he would explain that if he did, as his power is high, Frieza would catch him and Kakarot. This would cause them to get shot down, but since her power isn't really that high, she wouldn't be shot down if she was the one to escape. So, she gets in the second pod and leaves the planet as well. Bardock didn't check to see where this pod was set to go, as he was kind of in a rush to save his family. So, instead of arriving at the same planet as Kakarot, Gine's pod crashes on a planet that has green skies, green water, and blue land. This is obviously the planet we know as Namek, the description didn't give it away. Regardless, as Gine exits her pod, she's greeted by the warrior Namekians. Normally they are peaceful, but since this isn't someone that's from Namek, they would be cautious and send the warriors to meet them. In the Frieza saga, the warrior Namekians, besides Nail of course, had a power of about 3,000 each. As for Gine's power, we're never given it, but since she was no longer a warrior, I assume her power dropped over time, kind of like how Gohan and Vidal's powers dropped after they stopped training/fighting. So, I'd put her power at a little over half of Raditz' power level in the Saiyan saga, so around 800. Gine, though, will explain that she wasn't here to harm anyone, she was just escaping from her planet, as it was destroyed by a galactic tyrant named Frieza. They wouldn't be sure what to do with her, so they would escort her to where Guru is, to ask what to do with the Saiyan. Nail, of course, would be the first one in the Namekian warriors, and Gine see when arriving there. They would have to explain to him what they're doing, and then once passing this on to Guru, he allows them inside. When they try to explain what's happening, Guru would say that there was no need to explain, that he sensed the pod coming. There also would have been no need to explain since he was able to read a person's mind by placing his hand on their head. So, he would have seen everything about Gine's past, mainly why she was here and what happened to her home planet. However, the major difference between Gine and the other Saiyans is that they probably wouldn't sense evil inside of her. So, because of this, her granddaughter would allow her to stay on Namek, if she needed to, which, after inspecting her ship and finding out that it was damaged while landing on Namek, she would indeed be stuck here. So, while she was there, she would be taught in the ways of the Namekian people. She could be taught some of their wisdom by Guru and the other village elders, like Mori. Since she was never much of a warrior, she would probably be iffy on wanting to train. However, Guru would explain to her that the Namekians are like her as well. They are a peaceful people, but they only fight if it comes to defending their planet. So, since she's going to be living here, it couldn't hurt to train as well to protect her planet if it ever came to it. So, she would mainly be training with the regular warrior Namekians at first, though, assuming she gets Zenkai boosts, it wouldn't take long to get her to the level of the warrior Namekians. If she starts at a power of 800, it will only take her 5 of these boosts to get above them in power. So her power would have gone from 800 to 1070 to 1400 to 1900 to 2500 and lastly to 3300. It would be hard to say how long this would take, since unlike on Earth where in the Saiyan Force they don't have ways to heal faster than it just taking time. So, at most, it could take about a year for her to reach this level. Also, it could have taken a year since she wouldn't have been completely focused on training. She would have also been learning the Namekian ways of life in between training sessions. Anyway, since she now is stronger than the regular warrior Namekians, Guru would tell Nail to train her, since, in Guru's mind, it couldn't hurt them having 2 people stronger than Nail to help protect the planet. As for Nail, he has a power level of 42,000, so it could take a while for Gine to catch up with him power-wise. Especially, as mentioned above, she would still be learning from the other Namekians as well, so not all her time would be put to training. For her to reach Nail power, assuming she still gets a Zenkai boost, it would take about 3 years for her to match him. At the end of the first year training with Nail, her power would have been 7,900. At the end of the second year would have been 24,900. And at the end of the third year would have been 44,000. Which, this would mean it is now age 741. So we still have quite a way to go before we reach the beginning of Dragon Ball, which was in age 749. There isn't really a reason to go over what is happening on Earth, since Gine being alive and on Namek wouldn't have changed anything about what is happening on Earth. I'm assuming you'd bring up the Dragon Balls on Namek, but I don't know if Gine would use them. The Namekians didn't seem to openly tell people about them, though after being there for years Gine probably would have been told. However, as if for she would use them or not, I don't think she would. From the way the Namekians talked, they seem to reserve using them for only situations where they absolutely must use them, like in the Frieza saga. They didn't have much of a choice but to let the heroes use them, since they were facing a catastrophe that was the Frieza Force invading their planet. So, they would explain this to her, that they only let them be used in dire circumstances, though, while Gine is learning about things like this, she could also be told about the Namekian Book of Legends by Guru. It's unknown if Guru had this book or not, but he did know about the Super Saiyan in the manga without having been told about it by anyone in that saga. We don't even know if the book talked about Super Saiyan, but we did know it talked about the Super Saiyan God, though, since Guru talked about the Super Saiyan, I'll say he learned it from this Namekian Book of Legends. Regardless, the point is that Guru would eventually show Gine this book, and probably teach her more about the Super Saiyan legend, and teach her about the Super Saiyan God and how it was obtained. This information won't have any important impact right now, but it can become important later. Regardless, Gine would find it interesting to have learned that these were more than just legends. She always thought that they were just myths made up to entertain Saiyan children. She could, theoretically, try to train to achieve Super Saiyan, but I don't think it would work as she wouldn't have any idea about how to achieve it. However, she does keep up on her training with Nail throughout the years. However, if she is close to Nail in power now, he would be getting stronger as well as time goes on. Though, before her training continues, since she caught up to Nail in power, Guru might see it as time to unlock her potential. As for how this would boost her power, we would have to look at what it did to Krillin's power in the Namek saga. Initially, his power went from 1,870 to about 13,000, though by the time his power stopped increasing, it had risen to 75,000. So, for Gine, initially her power would have gone from 44,000 up to 306,000, then, after her power finishes increasing, that would have brought it to an insanely high number, which is 1,800,000. I'd change these numbers to be lower because of how high they are, but to me it seems to make sense. I used the same multipliers from the potential increase we've seen in the series, so this number should be fine. Theoretically, it could have even been higher since Gine is a Saiyan. She might have had more potential than Krillin, so I'll just keep them at this level since that's the calculation I came up with. Also, in her training throughout the past couple of years, she would have been taught how to sense ki without the use of a scouter. Anyway, fast forward 20 years to age 761, which is normally the year that Raditz arrived on planet Earth. In the Broly movie, we had seen how Raditz was told that Kakarot was sent off to planet Earth. In a timeline where Gine escaped on the same day, he probably would have been told that she was sent away as well, though Bardock had no clue what planet Gine was sent to. So, when Raditz was told about them being sent off-world, he would have just been told Kakarot was sent to a planet called Earth, and his mother survived as well. He would just assume she went to the same planet too. Normally, he would have been right, but her ship was damaged after it landed on Namek, so she couldn't go to Earth right after. Which, when Raditz arrives on Earth, he would be disappointed that his mother isn't there. However, he would still find out that his brother Kakarot is there. So from there, the rest of the Saiyan saga would go the exact same, with both Raditz and Kakarot being killed. So, after this we would get to age 762, as the things in the Saiyan saga wrap up with Vegeta and Nappa arriving on Earth, and getting defeated as usual. Then they'll lead it to the trip to Namek starting as well. Also, something to mention is that in this time both Gine and Nail would have gotten stronger too. Nail probably would have started training intensely, since after Gine's potential was unlocked, she far surpassed him, so he would have trained intensely to try and catch up with her. It's hard to say how much her power would have gone up in the past 21 years, but I'll give her about a 2 times boost in power, which is 3,600,000. I chose this multiplier kind of based on how strong Goku got in the 5 years between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, which was about a 1.35 times boost on top of his power. Since this was a 21-year time skip instead of 5 years, I made it higher and went to about a 2 times boost. The time skip was slightly over 4 times longer than the 5-year one. I could have made the boost far higher, but I chose to rein it in to only double. Also, assuming Nail did close the gap in power between the two and caught up, this would have brought his power up to 3,400,000. He theoretically could have been able to do this with intense training, and by getting his potential unlocked again, since his potential probably rose after Guru unlocked it the first time. While we haven't seen it in the anime or manga, we have seen Guru unlock a character's potential multiple times in a game, which was Dragon Ball's Universe 2. I know this is non-canon, but it's one of the main reasons I could justify Nail catching up to Gine in power as well. Anyway, eventually Gine, Nail, Guru, and the other Namekians would sense a lot of different keys coming towards their planet. However, most of them would be evil, so they would get prepared because they would be cautious about what is about to happen, which, obviously this is the Frieza Force on their way to try and get the Dragon Balls. Also, one of the higher evil keys they would sense would be Vegeta since he's on his way there as well. Lastly, there would be some good keys they sense too, since Krillin, Gohan, and Bulma are on their way, though Unfortunately, the amount of evil ki vastly outweighs the amount of good ki that seems coming towards their planet. When they do eventually land on Planet Namek, Frieza would scan the planet for high power levels at first. Assuming Gine now can suppress her powers, Tyrant wouldn't notice anything worrying as of right now. So, he would get ready and start to make plans with his men of how they're going to find the Dragon Balls, and most likely just have come up with a similar plan to what they seemingly did in the manga. They just went from village to village to get the Dragon Balls. They usually started with asking, then having his men attack some of the villagers, maybe resort to killing the children to force the elders into giving the Dragon Ball up. Then if they absolutely must, just kill everyone in the village and take it by force. Afterwards, they just rinse and repeat the process until they get all of them, thus making their wish. Anyway, that's where I'm going to be leaving things for right now. A friend of mine suggested me to do a what if of Gine surviving. I was worried about it ending up too much like Masuka's what if of Gine going to Earth with Goku, so, as a solution to that, I asked my friend about what she thought about Gine escaping to a different planet. We thought about options like Yardgather Supreme Kai's world or maybe even Beerus' planet. Anyway, she suggested the Planet Namek, so that's how this idea came to be. Anyway, please do share your thoughts on this what if. But since this was one my friend recommended to me that she wanted to see, I'm going to stick this one out until the end. If you do have suggestions for other what ifs, please do feel free to share them, and I'll take them into consideration.